tried to file my nails below the screen so it doesn't distract everybody.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but you sat there kind of like.
Beautiful
Well,
agony.
sweet face is impressive.
This is not that kind of web show.
No.
No.
That's what
No.
you think.
Right.
Dun, 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 dun.
And the fact you're wearing a skeleton t-shirt makes that even
The rib
Oh.
bone's connected to the booby bone.
Right. Yeah. Session 42. Absolutely
Hey.
fantastic.
Answer to everything. You have to do so much closure in this one, Ross. Just saying.
All right. Challenge accepted.
The thing is, it's session 42, and Astraeus' butler is Marvin.
Yes.
There is that. There is that. There is that. Okay. A recap for anybody. Yeah. Hey.
I can't even read that.
Yeah, Kelly's complaining that she can't read my handwriting.
Normally I can, but
I can't read my handwriting either.
Good luck.
Okay, so session 41, 10 weeks had passed. Stowbold had spent the time gathering information. Hawk had been preparing herself for the upcoming nastiness. I was learning the ritual needed to kill 19. Astraeus was making pancakes. Hawk shares in something that I can't read, working with Aberon, which
You
I
know.
don't know.
But you don't know.
Marmite Steve is one of the new employees at the Rose. A bike arrives. Eliana has returned with Caliburn's sword and bike. She has been sent back. Time is subjective. She has a bronze testament hand with extra finger. Goodness. Eliana's safe. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be Caliburn is safe. I'd written Eliana. And so we were going to make our way to the Museum of Me.
To look out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where my notes end.
Okay. So the first card on the Path of Suns is the Endless Woods.
Mm,
Ooh.
ominous.
Can I do crash zooms? Dun dun dun.
It's not magic.
Oh, it's not magic sign.
It should be it's in the folder. It's in the folder where your character tell me is.
Yeah.
She's so happy now.
The Endless Woods. Take even a step into these dark woods and you'll never find your way back.
Ooh.
Somebody gets lost. The forces of nature cause an incident. A mysterious event occurs. The significant events happened in an unknown land. Okay.
I feel that a mysterious event has happened in an unknown land, and Eliana is back with the Vizsla hand.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not working.
The other thing that happened right at the end of the last session, I don't know if you recall it, is that Hawk was making her kind of golden bands to capture.
Oh yeah, like Ghostbuster traps kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, I can read that bit now. Hawk is going to make something circles of holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potash?
What? Repeat.
There's a word in there that I've written that I can't read. Potash?
Portal.
Portable circle of holding.
Portable.
Yes.
Thanks, dyslexia.
And And you'd done your kind of lava thing where you were holding the crucible and then heating it up with your interior flames,
Yeah.
and then a molten droplet of this night side gold
Oh, yes.
sun gold had kind of spat out of it and landed on you, and then just kind of done that thing where it's kind of blobbed into you. Do you remember that?
T1000 study.
Yeah, but your body kind of absorbed it.
Okay.
That's actually quite worse.
This is my not worried face.
So next day, that's all done. They're there to cool. I think we do need to get some makering rolls from Hawk because we didn't actually do any rolling for this.
Cool. Should we do that first? Get it done with?
Yeah. What level did you want to make this thing? I mean, how much sorcery have you got? Because that kind of limits the maximum level of item you can make.
I have 12 in total.
Okay.
That's a lot of sorcery.
Because you've got the sword here as well, haven't you?
Yep.
Okay. So if you want to make it at level 12, 11, 10, 7, 4, 2, 1.
Right.
What's your crafting skill? That's 2.
No, my crafting. I got level 4 in understanding and identifying materials.
Yeah.
And then level 4 crafting pills and potions. I've got a level 4 in crafting jewellery.
That's the one we can use. Level 4. Gee, crikey, when do you get so powerful?
Our last level up, because
Yeah.
I had so much, I was like, shit, I need to do stuff.
Also, when did you get so powerful? It's session 42.
What are we talking about?
Because I didn't buy spells or anything, I wanted to like level up.
Because you'd got more spells than your hands could actually physically hold.
Yes.
Okay. And do you have any secrets that allow you to spend more than 1 bene per roll?
Can't share secrets like that, can we?
No.
Okay. Come here. I want to tell you a secret. Very Isabel styly.
Oh,
Forget nails down the chalkboard. Get Isabel to whisper a secret in your ear. It's the most horrendous feeling in the world.
Oh,
Because she
Terrible.
forgets as well. She's like, just in your ear.
that close to your ear.
no, I don't
So it's
think
like whatever the opposite of AMSR is.
Yeah. Brilliant. Hawk, sorry, Snowboard, are you going to be there doing your encouragement thing?
Yeah.
Okay. There's another point. There's.
So what was it about the using extra bennies?
Yeah, there's a secret called Expansive Endeavour that allows you to use up to 3 bene per roll.
No, I haven't got
Okay. Wonderful. So, and did you want to burn through hidden knowledge to boost your rolls?
Yeah.
How much have you got?
15.
15. Okay. So
You're
if,
set.
if you want to burn through 7 of those,
Yeah.
You may borrow my pencil.
so effectively you need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rolls. No, it's 6. Yeah, so 8 rolls. You need a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and 2 6s.
Yeah. And do I have extra dice?
You can spend sortilege on these.
Yeah. Cool.
This is a very reductive and a very
Yeah.
circumnavigated.
Isn't there an extra sort of dice? Different.
And
Sorry, I have a sea of die around here.
what's your heart, Kelly? What house? What
And secrets.
secret? So the card isn't enhancing you on this one here. Okay. So yeah. So we need you can spend a point of sortilege on each one of these rolls because these, in theory, it's going to take you 13 days to be making this, but we can kind of backtrack this into the
10 weeks.
into the time off.
Cool.
So,
So,
technically,
hey.
each one of these is one roll per day.
Yeah.
So you can spend a sortilege on each one of them.
Yeah. I've got 5 sortilege, so the first
No,
one.
no, it's one a day,
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
and then you recover the rest of them overnight.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Excellent.
So a 0.
As in, she's got to beat a 0.
Yep.
So, definitely.
Yep.
And then I add my jewellery crafting,
No,
yeah?
no, you don't need to.
Okay.
I've worked it all out.
Alright, so I got 6 and 5 on the
Fine.
dice.
So there's the first one. Then a 1.
Oh, shit.
She's rolled a 5 on the regular die, but a 0 on the flux die.
There's a flux of that. That's fine. And then a 2.
9 and 5.
Yep. Then a 3.
6 and 3.
Yep. Then a 4.
5 and another flux die.
Then a 5.
5 and 3.
Yep. Then a 6.
6 and flux dice.
And then another 6.
6 and 3.
Fantastic. So you've made it. But in theory, that last roll, those last 2 rolls, you were fighting against a target of 13 to get those ones there. So that's pretty impressive. And only 3 fluxes.
Only 3. Only 3.
Now, I will give you the choice.
Yeah.
That can either be 1 3-point flux or 3 1s.
I'm going to go 1.
What's the worst thing that could happen?
I'm going to go for 1 3-point flux.
A 3-point flux.
Oh.
Okay.
I think that was his version of, are you sure you want to do that?
Makes it more entertaining that way.
Brilliant.
That's not a word you want the DM to say.
Yes, it is.
Good thing. Never know.
Yeah. So next day, I presume you all gather together at the Rose, or yeah. So you kind of come downstairs from your workshop, and you've got this gold sphere about this big, and it's kind of got bands and bonds around it. And if you imagine, like
Oh, the Daily Planet.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that it was kind of coconut sized, but it got the same kind of banding and traces around it that the lament configuration does. And when you throw it at you activate it by kind of throwing it at the target, and then it, in theory, it will hit him, and then it will constrain around him. And
So just to be clear, it's not a Pokeball.
it's a Pokeball stroke lament configuration. Chatterer, I choose you.
Broken Dave. Okay. So it's coconut sized.
Yeah,
Is it multi-dimensional, or can she hold it in her pockets of holding?
she can hold it in the pockets of holding.
It'll fit in a pocket.
Yeah.
Yes, but so did Dennis. So
Yeah, but he was only small. He was only just a little. Hey, I'm just a little guy.
No, because he'd already got into his bag of holding, which I then put in my pocket, which was small enough to fit in my pocket. So.
The Dennis in your pocket is very small. The Dennis over there is far away.
There's the difference. And typically the weather in Saturnine is kind of autumnal. It's crisp and it is relatively dry. But today it's blowing an absolute howling gale, and but it's still got that kind of nice Art Deco feel to it. So the wind is just belting down all of the streets, but it's taking sort of gusts of nice, crisp, crunchy leaves absolutely everywhere. And you see sort of birds flying straight. Normally these birds fly sideways, but it's so windy they're flying in straight lines. And I think Snowball probably turns back up because everybody else lives at the Rose, but Snowball turns up with a tray of beanos for everybody. Yep. What have you ordered?
Well, I ordered for everybody.
Yeah.
My normal Java.
Yep.
Plain black for oh my gosh, I can't remember people's names. Yeah, Roland, there we go. And a frappuccino with a hint of violet for Hawk.
And a shit ton of whipped cream, please.
Yep. Do you want extra toppings with that? Yes, I do.
What do you want?
All
Yes.
of it.
Yes.
Just the whole store.
It's a
Toppings.
zen. It's a zen mocha. Make me one with everything.
It's a Terminator of mochas.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Terminator coffee.
Every syrup in there, you can see through time.
Not the sugar-free shit.
No. Well, that as well.
Yeah.
It's like 3/4 of a cup syrup and then a bit of coffee on
It's
top.
even going to be paninis, a bacon sandwich, croissants,
Do
everything.
you remember that absurd bird when you dip things in cheese?
Fondue.
Fondue. Absurd bird fondue. Right, so it's like a mug of cheese,
Yeah.
and then it had sticks coming out with part of things that you would dip in it. So there's part of a burger on one stick and
There was a pickle, and then there was
of a
chicken
bun
breast.
and a bit of
You
Yeah.
had me at mug of cheese.
It was a bit weird, but yeah, so there are lots of sticks coming out with various of their accoutrements as well.
Yeah.
So that for her. Astreus is making pancakes.
Is he making bacon pancakes though?
Got some bacon, going to put them in some pancakes. So I don't get anything for him, and for Eliana, I get her normal caramel latte. Yes, there we go.
Awesome sauce. And you kind of get in there. Where is it? I did. There we go. Can I share a screen?
Yeah, you can.
There we go.
Just a minute. Oh, that was my
Yeah.
yeah, that was my nachos.
That was
my fondue.
That was the fondue.
So a mug of cheese, things on burgers on sticks.
That's amazing.
It's in Exeter if you want to go.
Well, officer, I thought I'd break social distancing to go and have a jug of cheese.
It was good.
Oh, it was fantastic. I think, what did I have? I had
Chicken and waffles.
Chicken waffles.
And it's brilliant because like some of the tables there have
they're on swings.
well, some of them are on swings, some of them are on rocking chairs. So you have like 4 chairs around the table and it's rocking chairs. Other ones are on like porch swings. It's just quite good, really.
It's just little Dave's face in the corner.
I'm just. So is that the chicken waffle?
That's chicken waffles.
Because it almost looks like, because of the the angle and line. It almost looks like a waffle
Yeah,
with ice cream, and then inexplicably spring onion.
yeah. But it was a sweet waffle with chicken, with American gravy and sour cream and onion.
Yeah, chicken
It
waffle
was.
is good.
It's good.
So
Yeah,
good.
it was amazing. Had to try it.
Proper southern fried home chicken.
Yeah. So, breakfast is up, and obviously Elena's back, and she's working with. Did she actually? She didn't actually work with Bear Grylls, did she?
No.
No. So she's kind of working with Bear Grylls, and they've between the pair of them, they've actually made chicken waffles, but they are 3-dimensional, and they are animated chickens, but made out of waffle.
How many chicken waffles do you have that aren't 3-dimensional?
No, these ones actually stand up on the plate, and they're walking round and making little chicken noises.
An ambulatory waffle.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a chicken made out of waffle, and it's got like a bowl on the back of it, and they've got like scrambled eggs and candied bacon just kind of dipped
right.
in this thing.
The logistics of eating this moving food are confusing me.
Well, you just eat the. No, you pick it up, eat the legs first, and then sit it back down again.
Here while it screams in agony. Wonderful.
How can it scream? It's made of waffle. You see its beak going.
How can a chicken scream? It's made of meat.
How
Anyway,
can I
carry on.
scream?
You scream, we all scream, the cops come.
It's awkward.
It's awkward. Right.
So you spent time the other day kind of catching Eliana up on what the plans were, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she spend any time with catching us up on what's gone on? Because I feel that there are a lot of unanswered questions here.
From what I recall,
She was telling us that where she'd been with Vizsla, kind of time doesn't
Matter.
really exist
So
or
she can't
matter.
remember what
So
happened.
it's all a little bit wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Don't trust Vizsla. Don't say it out loud.
and she sort of sits down and she gets. That's how you sort these little things out. They come in very small pens.
The chicken waffles.
The chicken waffles. It comes in a very small pen.
Oh, I thought you meant writing pen. I
No.
was like very confused.
Yeah. So the tray
It's
Is-
like
is-
a little coop.
like a little pen. Yeah. Yeah.
So they're battery farmed waffle chickens.
Don't agree with this.
No, technically they're free range because they can run around. It's just that
In
you
the
put
little
them in the you only put them in a coop when you want to rip them
Eat
apart and
them.
devour their innards.
Let's move on, shall we?
They're kind of 3D printed waffles.
So it's totally with
Which
you.
means essentially the stuff that they make chicken nuggets out of, that kind of chicken slurry, is now being used to make.
No, they're made out of waffle. They're made out of batter mix.
Right.
See, I'm with Dave. I reckon they should be made out of chicken, but in a waffle shape. Basically, like you were trying to tell me with melted cheese, making a waffle basically out of melted cheese. But we could do it basically with chicken meat, and then in a chicken shape. I lose you at the point when they're alive. That's a step too far.
So it's some kind of chicken meat golem. I just want my breakfast.
Animated nuggy, if you will.
So the ethics of breakfast aside, everybody take a despair.
Way ahead of you.
And
Roland has seen some shit, but this is taking the biscuit.
Pun intended.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so Eliana's sat at the table, kind of drinking the coffee and staring at this globe that Hawk's got in the middle of the table. Is that it? She says.
Should be Hopefully it'll do what we need it to.
Is there a way to test it?
Not if we want to use it again.
And I
Just a sort of
suppose
one-shot
it's
deal.
got, but I suppose it's kind of got his name written into it, hasn't it? And so it would only work on him. It wouldn't work on any other demon anyway.
Nope.
The wind kind of starts sort of picking up, and the sort of door rattles in its frame a little bit. Eliana kind of stops and looks up, and she says, "I thought the weather here was always supposed to be really good."
Things have not been their normal state recently.
Okay. Any idea why? Is that anything?
Not that we've looked into.
Okay. Is it
I don't know.
No, we haven't.
is it the sort of thing that happens very often?
I don't remember it.
Okay. Oh. Chalk it up to this strange place. So, do you guys have a plan for when you use all of this stuff to take him down? It, him, it, them? I don't know.
Well, we weren't going to actively go looking for him because
That's a bad idea.
that's a bad idea. We just want to be ready for when he kind of shows up. And kind of my thought was that you were going to use the trap to hold him in place long enough for me to grab him and perform the rite.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Because before we tried to hit him with a train and he moved out of the way quite easily. He's a
Okay.
slippery bugger.
Okay.
So, should we go to the Museum of Me?
That was what our kind of plan was.
I think Eliana could probably just do with some settling in time. And settle in, basically. Because she's been out for a while, but not really a while, and she might just want to...
Readjust back to
Yeah.
civilian life.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you head off to the Palindrome District.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. How are you going to get there?
Is there a tram?
Yeah. Museum of You. The Enveloping Darkness.
Just for alliteration, I think it should be the Museum of Me.
It's called the Museum of You.
Yeah, but it should be the Museum of Me, just for alliteration
In
purposes.
your head, that's what it is.
Okay. This building, I'm just going to go and get the book. 2 seconds.
Okay.
Because I remember what it does, but not the exact. Be right back.
I'll have to change the thing in a minute.
Change the.
Oh. The one I actually used. RNCC background. There's one really.
Right.
It's her first one without being in the house. It's not going to be
So as the train leaves Fartown and kind of goes through the tunnel before it pops up in the hollows, you can kind of just behind you, over the skies of Fartown, there are massive thunderhead clouds just kind of rolling in, and you see there's a.
Does it look like the Never-Ending Story?
I started watching that. I got lost after about 6 days. I don't remember.
Well, I mean, is it a natural storm, or does it like really kind of blacken?
It's like the unnatural storms at the start of Flash Gordon.
Okay.
See, I started watching that, and then I got scared at the person puts his hand in the green thing.
It was well before that.
Okay.
Right at the start.
I blacked it all out. It was too scary, horrific.
The person putting his hand in the thing
Was
that
on-
what's his face off Blue Peter,
Peter Duncan, yeah.
Yeah.
and obviously second best Bond.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton.
Yeah, yeah.
Best Bond in my world.
Your world is wrong.
Very, very close second is great.
And so and you kind of catch like a couple of flashes of vivid electric blue lightning before
We'd never seen this kind of weather in our.
Not in, generally speaking, the weather in Fartown, it's normally autumnal, but you might get rain, but it's like key falls rather than anything else.
Does it seem like it's moving from a place or to a place, or you can't really tell? Or
It seems to be kind of coming in from the edges.
oh, good.
And this
Shoot.
only just started happening once Eliana got back, right?
Day after, yeah.
Okay. Stall that one in the bucket.
And you get through. Do you have to change trains to get to the Palindrome District? Be useful if I had the map up, wouldn't it? And the train that you're on kind of takes you pretty much straight to the. No, it's the wrong one. All of the stuff. Cloth maps. Satyrine. There we go. And if I share to that one. So Fartown isn't on the map because it's a pocket dimension, but the train kind of comes into the hollows, which is this. Can you see my mouse cursor just there? And then the palindrome is down here. So you probably have to change, make a couple of connections sort of here and there, but you get into the Palindrome District. And generally speaking, the district itself is it's always the same going out as it is going in. So it's one of those ones that, when you make a journey somewhere on the train, the journey home, it always seems to go faster than the journey there.
Yeah.
It's not the same. So anytime you're going to the palindrome, the journey home seems to take as long as the journey there does. When you walk from one end to the other and reach the halfway point, traveling in either direction, you always end up passing by everything you've already passed, but in reverse order. So from one perspective, a certain museum might be east of a particular theatre, but also west of it. There are many parks, libraries, museums and theatres that fill the district. Well-maintained streets and bright, sham-lit, illuminated plazas make it one of the quieter, safer and more serene of the districts. It's not uncommon to see wealthy and upper-class citizens strolling down its tree-lined avenues. Very few people actually live here, but it's usually quite busy with people coming and going from other districts. So it's like...
It's like Hanna-Barbera has done the district.
Yes. Yes. There's a series of like impossibly tall, swirled, spiraled buildings. If you imagine that you're walking through the collaborative TV series that Dali and Escher and Geiger did together, make that happen. Make that happen, internet. Make that happen.
You mentioned it's relatively safe. I have a sneaky suspicion that's going to change.
Is the weather coming into here as well? Is it at Fartown or
no,
is it Satyrine?
the storm disappeared. It was, and it looks like it was just over Far Town itself. When you kind of popped through into the hollows, it was night time. Obviously, time passes somewhat differently in Night Vale. Sorry, Satterine. And asking, so you get off the train, and then it's a couple of blocks walk to where the where this other museum is, and you ask one of the locals, and they kind of give you directions. As you approach it, the facade of the building is a beautiful design of various different reflective surfaces. It seems, on first glance, as if the name of the place bears your name. So when you look at the sign above the door, it will say the Museum of Stobold, the Museum of Hall.
Does it say
the Museum of
of Stobold?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it different for each of us?
And you all see it as having your own name on it,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
you know that it actually says, what it actually says is the Museum of You.
Yeah.
Okay.
So would each of us going in be of any help? If that's the case then, because...
You're only allowed one at a time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is like a curator outside, and the curator is a floating ball of obsidian about sort of 4 feet across. And you can tell that it's kind of looking at you.
As you can tell, a sphere does.
Yeah. And you can kind of feel a voice has said to you, "Good afternoon, Visley. Stobold, Hawk, Roland."
Can we all feel that?
You all heard it, yeah.
Okay. So, like, it's not just talking to each one of us, it's talking to all of us. We can
Yes.
feel that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I stick out one foot on my boot heel, tap my throat 3 times, and say, "Greetings, long days and pleasant nights."
And to you twice that number. Do you desire to enter the museum?
I do.
Not for myself, no, but for my companion Stobold here, yes.
It kind of swivels and it looked at you, and then it said something like, "There is a small fee for entry."
Oh.
And then there's like a...
Should have looked up ticket prices into it before we came.
I'm a member of the National Trust. Do I get a discount?
I worked out,
Do I get a basis skill discount?
yeah, based on all of your kind of earnings and incomes, you all had probably 10 weeks, and you're all kind of earning about 100 to 120 crystal per week if you're not actively spending it on other things. So you're all
Or minted.
monetarily quite rich.
I was minted anyway.
Yeah. The suggested minimum entry fee, it said, kind of putting this memory of it's having said things into your mind, is 1 gem orb.
That's 50, is it? 50 crystal?
100 crystal.
Okay.
Oh, true, yeah, true.
So a week's wages kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm interested, though, when I looked up the thing, it said Stobold rather than any other name.
Yeah.
Okay. Because one of the reasons I want to go is just to find out who else I might have been, whatever. And if it's only going to give me surface information, then I'm willing to find out.
Mm-hmm. So did you pay the orb? Pay the man?
Yep.
Yeah. So it said something like, "Thank you. It says, please proceed inside. And for your companions, a waiting area is available." And it kind of gestures. It's an orb of glass, but still it gestures across the way. And there's a kind of a very pleasant plazaed, like a cafe. So they've got the parasols with the heaters just underneath it because it's quite dark. And there are kind of similar but smaller floating orbs serving drinks to a few people who are sat there.
How do they hold the drinks? If they're a floating orb, how do they hold the drinks?
You don't exactly see, but you remember that they definitely did.
Okay.
So it's not like R2 with like a little tray bolted to the top of it.
No, no. It's more elegant than that. They're definitely holding them, or they definitely held them. The details don't actually matter. So you enter into the museum, and it starts off, and there is a kind of a lobby, and you've got like 3 wings of this museum, and you've got the wing of the now, the wing of the then, and the shop. Because there's always a shop in a museum.
The cynic in me, the Charlie in me, wants to go to the shop first, just because that's where you see the highlights.
Oh.
You go round and think that's cool, and then you get to go, oh, I saw that, I want that.
So, where are you going?
Now, no, then.
The then. Okay. So
when will then be now?
Soon.
Never, because then is in the past. We are moving further away from it.
We call this one Mr. Coffee.
Everybody knows I like coffee, drinking coffee when I watch Radar.
Have you got Spaceballs?
No.
Ah, yeah, should do. Okay.
Can't tell me to get out. I'm not in the same room as you.
Still get out.
Okay, so you go into the then, and the first exhibit is Your Life in Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And the next exhibit is
How is it displayed?
Okay. The visitor sees displays representing their own life, triumphs and failures, lovers and enemies, good times and bad, and pretty much everything is there. So your time in Shadow, it's like, you know, when they had the war exhibit in the museum, so you've got like glass cases with exhibits for it. So you've got your
toothbrush,
your dress uniform, because you're in the forces, weren't you? So you've got your dress uniform and your sort of your commendation certificate and the medal that you received, and it's got an exact replica of your hip flask, and it's that good that you kind of have to reach to your belt to make sure that you've still actually got your hip flask with you.
Yeah.
And then going round, it's got a picture of you and Elena's father sort of together, kind of one of those squad pictures, and then a picture of yourself and the rest of your unit. And then it's got what did you do before you joined the forces in Shadow? Or did you join at 16 as soon as you left school?
Yeah.
So it's got a picture of your like sixth form last day signature shirts with everybody's signatures on it, and it's got your National Record of Achievements folder with all of your GCSEs inside it. And
they were so keen, like, you will need this, you must look after it. I've never touched it since.
I've had people
I don't have one.
mention that if you turned up to an interview with it, that you'd automatically fail the interview. When I was going through job centre and stuff, they said, yeah, don't take it with you. Find something else to be able to take your certificates or whatever else in, because they'll be able to aid you.
Can you make a level 5 resist check, please?
It's been a while. Remind me how I'm doing this.
And you need 2 successes on this. So do you have any levels in the resist skill?
Maybe. There's an awful lot of dice in here. These aren't all mine, are they?
Just use your blue one, and you'll have to spend a point of sortilege for a red one.
Okay. Yes, I do have 3 in resist.
Ooh, fantastic. So level 5, you've got 3 ranks in the skill. That brings it down to a difficulty 2. So you need a 2 or more.
Both 7s.
Fantastic. So you feel kind of something pulling at you at your at the back of your head, but it's like, oh, it's just a memory for it. And then, so you go through all of this life in shadow wing, and then you go to the pre-war wing, which is next, but it's all taped off. So like the doors are closed, and then there's like not crime scene tape, but there's a bright yellow
Do not cross this line.
"Do not cross this line."
Is the curator still with me?
No, you get left to explore the memories of your past life.
Okay. Question.
Mm-hmm.
So, Shadow, we went into Shadow when we were adults.
Yep.
But a life was created for us to slot into almost.
Yep.
When I'm looking at this thing of Shadow, do I know, can I see the point at which I entered? Can I see what was my memories that I actually lived through and which were created for me?
The lie of Shadow was so complete.
So
that-
no.
So no.
Okay. So I'm kind of imagining like those museum doors that are like the really, 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 I can't see my arms, really tall ones.
Yep.
With the double handles that you
Yep.
kind of slide. And so I try the handle basically, even though it's behind the tape. I try the handle.
Okay. It doesn't appear to be locked or anything, but it's a bit sort of stiff.
Yeah, I force it.
You force it. Fantastic.
But quietly.
Okay, can you make me a level 8 resist check? No, not resist. Yeah, resist check, please.
So reduced by 3 because
Yep.
I've got that. So 5. Oh, double 4s.
Okay. Something is stopping you from opening the doors. The mechanisms on the handles are working, but you can't quite. It's not a physical stoppage. There's something inside you that's saying, well, hang on, no, there's a reason why these, it's not proper for you to go in here. It's taped off for a reason.
So in normal museums, there's a pathway that you go all the way around and it leads you back to the shop basically.
Yeah.
Would the path go through this room?
It looks like it should do.
So there's no other way really. You must go through it.
Yeah, you can kind of circle back through and go past some of the other bits of your life in shadow. That looks like a nice, easy path.
No, it's not what we're here for, easy. Can I try again?
You're going to need some kind of magic to get past it.
A weave?
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Movement and obstacles.
Okay, sounds like a good combination.
Mm-hmm.
So movement from which one of your aggregates?
Fire.
Okay. And obstacles from?
The mountain.
So is this going to be you kind of calling up a mini volcano to erupt the floor and open the doors?
I didn't think it had to come from those things. I didn't understand that.
You want to weave some variety of scissors that will cut those tapes.
The tapes aren't so much, and the doors would open. It's me not
Well, you
allowing
don't-
myself to
Yeah,
open them, isn't
you
it?
don't want to.
Symbolically getting rid of the tape.
Huh? What? Pardon, I didn't hear.
Symbolically, the act of you getting rid of the tape
Yeah.
might lift the kind of mental block that you've got that's stopping you from going in there.
Okay. Okay. So
And Ross
I am
did
the
an
mountain.
excited point.
I am the mountain, and I make fire. So I'm just gonna kind of have a hot finger, and touch the plastic, and it just fizzles.
Fantastic. What level are you going to throw this spell at?
Mm,
You can. I think you can do it up to level 6 with 2 aggregates. With 2.
yeah. I think I should do it up to level 6.
Brilliant. And so that's going to be 2 dice.
Mhm.
Difficult. What did I say? Difficult was 8.
8, but then I took it down to 3.
Yeah, no,
5,
it's
so.
not that one. So basically, you've got 6 towards it. So you need a pair of 2s.
3 and an 8.
Absolutely fantastic. So you pull these together and you kind of conjure the fire and the heat inside you, and you do a whole ET moment, and you
Yeah.
touch the tape and it melts away. And there's
That
a
horrible
sense,
plasticky smell.
oh yeah, yeah. Like I used to kind of deliberately melt bits of plastic on the bulb of my bedside lamp when I was a kid,
Depends a lot.
But why?
because it was cool to melt plastic and then just kind of smear it on things.
Anyway.
Just a doubt.
Yeah. This was before LED bulbs and halogen bulbs, so it was a proper like 60-watt bulb that I had in there. Yeah, so you melt this tape and then you try the door again and it opens without much hint.
Okay.
The question I've got to ask is, what do we see in there? This is your life pre-war, pre-shadow.
You definitely see Michael Aspen and a red book.
I would
think we say
I would text you a suggestion, but my other phone is the Path of Sun, so I can't.
I think so in the same way that the previous I can only think of Plymouth Museum, so it was the war type modern history exhibit
Mm-hmm.
in the last one. So this room is kind of the the portrait gallery upstairs and all the old stuff that's all kind of with teak furniture and stuff like that. So you kind of go in there and there's a lot of kind of exquisite paintings and drawers and little knickknacks and things like this, but it shows Stowbold still. And he, still lived next to Mr. Miyagi in his house around the swimming pool, and he was still he was part of the Bisley who were fighting the war, or he was like service person Bisley anyway, so he still had he was still parts of Knights in the Name, all those kinds of things. So there's kind of Fred in there, but not some of the other ones, and like a barbecue at Fred's house and a amazing oil painting of this, and ornate pottery of Mr. Miyagi when his cats went wild or whatever, I don't know. But that's all still his life pre-war as Stowbold. But again, do you remember in Plymouth Museum there's that bit where there's like the extra special portraiture gallery, where you kind of got to go through vacuum doors,
Yep.
and there's that off to the side, and it's to the side. It's not like the main route through the thing. So you can see through the doors, like the glass doors at the end of this gallery, that it kind of goes on to the now section, and there's a big title above it, now, and then you can kind of see all the way through that, and then there's a shop, and you can see how that path lays out. But then to the side, there's these vacuum doors, and there's got frosted glass over them, and it kind of and it looks like there's a key code to put a key code in it, and I go and try the doors, and I can't do it naturally, but part of me thinks I might know the key.
Yep.
Is the code 1919?
Don't know.
So you have a look at this little number pad, and it's one of those really kind of worn down sort of metal pads. So it's got like a metal housing around it, and
Yeah.
then like 4 LEDs above it, and then the old real kind of 70s aluminium dimple faced phone, I would say mobile phone buttons, but the phone
Phone box.
booth,
Yeah.
phone box style keypads for it. And when you look at the kind of numbers, there's like a, you know, every so often when you kind of blink and some of the crud in the corner of your eye goes across your eyes, and it's like, oh God. So you kind of clear your eyes, and you can see that all of the numbers are blank, all of the buttons are blank.
Mm-hmm.
And then you blink a couple of times, and then the numbers kind of fade in, and you turn round and you see, and you look at the other pictures, and then you kind of look back to this other number pad, and there's only 3 buttons which have got like numbers on them. So you kind of instinctively realise that these are the 3-digit key for the entrance.
So there's 3 on a button, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have them on real phones anymore. Where's my phone gone?
The home phone's just next to you.
Yeah, they did.
My
L
phone?
is
Where's my
12.
phone? Huh?
L is 12.
Oh. No, not like that.
So, like, on the keypad, so it'd be
Yeah.
A,
Keypad.
A, C would be 1.
So 5, 4, 3.
Okay. And the doorway opens up, and then there's a gust of very warm, very kind of dry, very sulphurous air that washes over you, and it feels good.
Good as in pleasant? Good as in
Good as in
not bad?
very, very welcoming.
Okay.
As in, it's like when you get into the bath and it's just the right temperature. The most
It's
welcoming
a
pair of
terrarium.
the most welcoming pair of slippers ever.
But you
What's
turn
that?
pink when
How
you
many
get in
things
the
about you, Ross? What'd you say, Kel?
You turn pink when you get in the bath. That's perfect temperature.
Okay.
What do you do?
What can I see?
In the end, it all goes away.
You see that there's again similar display cases, but rather than being the kind of museum, very well used 50s, 60s wooden cases with glass fronts on them, they are kind of shelves but carved out of rock, and it's almost like this is the inside of a cave of some sort. And then on all of these shelves, there are objects that you can't quite make out from outside the room.
Okay. Could we have a chat away from camera for a bit,
Yep.
Ross?
Yeah, I'm just going to pause the recording. So,
I loved her butt cannons. They were awesome.
Charlie didn't know that I was making them, so she was kind of getting ready for us to go out.
Yeah.
And Isabella, she said she'd wanted to dress up as Astro Boy anyway, and Charlie was on a call, so I just kind of walked in there and I picked up a couple of the toilet rolls. And I kind of brought Isabel through, and I just kind of taped them on. And when I'd done them, she walked back out, and Charlie had finished the call, and the laughter that I heard was absolutely phenomenal. She liked having butt cannons, I think.
Excellent. I was on because I had to go out to Sainsbury's today. Because I needed underwear, and it's the only place I can get stuff that fits. So on the way back, I was very tempted to come and like park at the bottom of the street and get you to like just bring her out of the door or like wave at her through the car. I was like, no,
We would do that for you.
Yeah.
but I needed to pee. But yeah, if I go out that way again, I'll let you know. Just for her, really.
So yeah, so this section of the room is like a cavern.
Are the Beatles playing?
It's got a feel of, I don't know, oppressive heat, and like it's very sort of
Primeval.
closed in and very ancient and very old, and very primeval.
I think I think it's slightly different than shelves of rocks, but like a cave.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in the aquarium in Plymouth Aquarium,
Yeah.
where you go to the first section and there's like the pool with all the starfish and stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's like that in the middle. So the rocks have kind of come up like this, and there's a pool in it, and there's little to no light in there. It's kind of only what's really coming from the door behind me. I kind of do like a little flick of my thumb and get like a fire on my thumb type of thing. And I go over to the pool, and it's a bit like a pensive, I think. And you kind of look at it, and I kind of looking at it, and it's just black. But I get the feeling that it's not because there's nothing there. It's because what I'm seeing is blackness, is darkness, is all that. And I look into it,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's so shiny, it reflects me, but it doesn't reflect my face as Stowbold, which I've still got my Stowbold face on, if you know what I mean. But it reflects my more larval. Is that a word? Larval?
Yeah.
I think it means something else. More kind of lava form.
Yep.
And the eyes are a different shape. So when I'm kind of lava normally, they're kind of almond, just like white hot, like Takar from Moana. Do you know Takar from Moana?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This has got black eyeballs like demons. So when all the demons we've seen before, they've kind of had that whole supernatural black eyeball thing. That's what's different. And I can see that in this reflection. And I'll go to touch what I thought was water, and I touch it, and I kind of bring my hand up, and it's covered in the oil when the demons jumped us on the train and we had that oil. It's that oil. It feels like that. So I feel that I either was created by demons, have come from demons, have been co-opted by demons, something, but that part of my history, who I was before stroke alongside Stowbold, was demonic.
What hand did you touch this pool with?
My left hand.
Okay. it's kind of this oil stuff is kind of stuck on your fingers, and it's like that bit in the original Matrix where he touches the silver mirror, and it kind of comes off and it starts flowing up your hand, and you can kind of feel it. It's cold, but it is burning at the same time, but it's a good sensation, and it's like a very pleasant heat. But at the same time, it's massively painful. But then on your right hand, where you'd held that crucible when you were making the thing for Kelly,
Mhm.
there's like a similar blob of gold that's kind of flowing up and around you. So this molten gold that had entered you for once, for just like a tiny speck, it's kind of come out and it's coating you. So you've got like black flowing up one arm, and then this gold kind of coating out and flowing up the other arm as well. And they both kind of flow up your arm and then meet on your chest and then start flowing, and it's roughly 50-50 as it spreads down your body, and then it comes up to your head, and they both kind of cover your face at the same time. And
Can I breathe?
you can breathe. You
Okay,
kind of
just
get to the
checking.
whole panic bit, and we get a cinematic where, in the same way in the Matrix, he kind of tilts his head back and starts screaming, and you tilt your head back, and you see these two kind of tendrils kind of going down into your throat at the same time, one of gold
How do
and
I
one of...
see that?
Well, no, it's a cinematic from outside.
Oh,
Blind
okay.
Watching our story.
There's somebody
And-
watching us.
Yeah. And the biggest question, which side wins?
Ooh. Are they fighting against each other?
You can very much tell the blackness wants to take you over, wants to strip away all of this Stobold and reclaim you for what you were. And the transformative power of the gold from the gold sun wants you to be something new.
What's the next? What's it called?
The rat.
It's literally there with a mask.
Yeah, not magic.
Read what the rat does.
Oh my goodness, this game is not magic. If one can keep a low profile, success is very likely. If a stronger force presents itself, resist, but do so cleverly and from the shadows, not openly. Sometimes survival is the best that one can hope for, but this is the very thing that the rat card suggests. No matter what, the person in question will at least survive if they keep concealed. Game narrative. A terrible calamity or disaster occurs, but hardy survivors withstand it. A community is plagued by rats. A secretive resistance forms to combat a larger force, like a government. Something strange is going on within the shadows.
I think the darkness starts to win. I'm not saying that it completely wins, but of the fight, because I'm kind of imagining they started in both of my hands.
Yep.
And moving over and taking over, but actually they're also coming away from my hands now
Mm-hmm.
and going just inside me.
Yeah.
And so I'm almost not certain which one is one, but I think the black is winning. So the gold is in there still, kind of, it's got a presence, but from what that card would be saying, it's better, it's to conceal what's already concealed is a more fruitful way forward than to make something new, which is gold wants to do. Kind of better the devil you know type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, bit of interesting game narrative.
Yeah, wonderful. So an amount of time passes, and you kind of come almost back to your senses,
Hmm.
and you have one of those, oh, I wonder what I was doing moments. And then you can kind of see the doorway back to the shadow exhibit and the doorway out to the now and the shop.
Hmm.
Do you go and have a look at the shadow side, or do you just keep on going?
Haven't I already seen the shadow side?
Yeah. Or sorry, not the shadow side, the rest of the pre-war side.
Again, I think the way I thought it, I'd already seen that,
Mhm.
and this was off to the side.
Yeah.
So I just kind of go on to the now.
Okay. And it kind of goes back, and there's another sort of fairly standard museum piece. It's a little bit more updated in terms of the design of it. And you've got it's got the picture from the rows of the five of you. It's got Mr. Miyagi's place. It's got yourself and the rest of your cell of weavers. So Jafar and
Brian.
and Agent
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker, yeah, and the agent from the Hadassah and
Agent 64.
64, and so on. And yeah, just sort of a few extra things about Snowball. So it's got like a receipt from Beano's with your coffee order on it, and it's got whatever you had. It's got the pizza hat that you had, whatever that was.
I missed
Good
that pizza.
times.
Have me finding Eliana and things like this.
Yeah.
Does it show me anything I don't know?
It's any secrets that you did have
Hmm.
would be shown
If I'd once known them.
if you'd once known them. Yeah,
But if I've never known something, even though if it happened around me,
it would still show you your life
Yeah.
laid completely bare.
okay.
There were magical wardings on that wing.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of how you were, but there are no secrets from the museum.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, so now is all pretty obvious then.
Mm-hmm.
And then go into the shop.
Fantastic.
And there's
I
like
need
an
to see the
over 18
cafe.
section with little boils of oil.
I totally imagine it like the cafe in the Liverpool, the museum at Liverpool.
Yeah.
What's that?
When is it the World Museum at Liverpool?
Mhm.
When you go in there, it's like this grand old building, but it's like this massive open atrium thing. And then at one side they've got the different floors where the museum bits are, but on the left-hand side as you go in, it's this really beautiful cafe. And if you go all the way through, there's kind of like what almost looks like the halls of like a private school. But I remember Dave's granddad saying that he had to take like his engineering exams or something there, and it's
Yeah.
really cool. And in my head, that's how I'm picturing it.
Cool.
Is there anything that you want in the shop, or is it just you kind of pick up little kind of bobblehead of Snowball?
Your marbles.
Well, they've got that's it. They've got like a Funko Pop of Snowball, and then they've got the limited edition lava form Snowball.
They've got a transforming Snowball, so you like, and he's
It's like that.
no.
Like the
You
bear
know
that you've got.
no. You know those old-fashioned pens where you'd have a woman in an outfit and then you'd twist it away and then the outfit would come off. It's like that, but I'm lava underneath and my snowball comes off.
Or a coffee cup that when you put hot
Yes.
coffee in it, the
Yes.
snowball kind of disappears. It says,
Yes, that's what I want. The coffee cup with the hot water. I'll get that. Yeah, I get that, and a stick of rock for everybody else. So
but it's actually just rock.
Yeah.
rock flavored rock.
Okay.
If you lick it, you might get a flavour of peppermint, but do not bite. You will break your teeth.
So Snowball is advising us to lick but not bite his rock.
Yeah, so you kind of, in a daze, you kind of hand over some money, and then you get a couple of sticks of rock and this little this mug with your face on it, and you come out of there, and there's like an exit chamber, and the curator is there, and it kind of looks at you, and it said to you, "I trust you understand."
Oh.
That is possibly the best way to go about one's own life, it said.
The museum. I thought that was just a record of my past and my present.
It most certainly is.
Could it ever have any effect on me now?
The same as any knowledge. It could have an effect on you now, because you now know you then. We are all the sum of our own experiences, and if any of our experiences are changed or taken away and then restored, are we not then improved and increased by that added sum?
But only in a sense of new knowledge to me am I changed, rather than having any physical or biological effect on me.
Biology is such a squishy thing, and it kind of shivers. It doesn't move, but you can tell that it's just shivered.
I guess it's one of those things because you will always remember things how you remember them. But having gone back to this place, you saw it how it was.
Yeah.
Therefore, that changes your perception of that memory. So,
Yeah.
because you've now seen whatever it was that you saw, that then actually changes who you are because it changes what it was. If that makes sense.
Yes.
That's some deep shit, right there.
It's too late on a Sunday evening.
It's why Hawk's not going in there, that's for sure.
The up and down of it is that you can gain 3 points of hidden knowledge and a point of despair.
Whoop whoop. I think. Okay.
And it's about an hour that passes. So what have Hawk and Roland had at the cafe across the way?
Oh, cheese scones, totally. And a cup of tea.
What it actually is, you get. So they bring over the cheese scones, and they are fantastic, and they are light, and they are fluffy, and every bite of each one is a different type of cheese that you're thinking of at the time. So you take the first bite of the first one, and it's a standard kind of cheddar and red Leicester mix, and then part of you thinks, I wonder if it's possible to make blue cheese scones, and then you take a bite, and then it's a blue cheese scone, and then you take a bite, and it's like varies.
Does it have
Free.
this, like cheesy, crusty topping?
Of course it does. But the pot of tea, it kind of comes over, and you've got a very, very kind of fine china cup and a teapot. And when you pour it, it is literally just very minute silica letter T, like confetti.
Yeah.
You kind of pour it out, so it's like glitter, but made of the letter T, and you drink it. And again, it's whichever tea that you feel like drinking at the time.
That's pretty cool.
Roland?
As it's the museum of me, I'm going to be enjoying the memory of the tastiest food I've ever had.
Wasn't that
Oh,
the
cool.
scotched burrito?
Most likely.
Maybe it is cheese scones.
Or the Pizza Hut? I'm not sure.
No, I think the Scotch burrito.
And about an hour after you sit down, Stowbold kind of comes back out again.
So, not meaning to be that guy, but I have the sight.
Yep.
Does Stowbold still look like a Visley, or does Stowbold look like something else?
Up to you, Charlie. What do you want?
I think I look like something else.
Is it almost like one of those lenticular pictures where if you look at him one way, it's a Bisley. Look at him.
How
different
does
way,
how does your sight work?
The sight basically means that when I look at things, I can tell what they are, if they're a Visley or a
But
magical
how do you
creature.
tell? Like, well, how do they look different to you? Describe that.
They don't look different.
Hmm.
I just know.
Is it like an aura that you see, or you can see like
Or you get a sense or a feeling or
an image behind of what their spirit is, or
So
it can look like however you want it to look like. So
the way that I've always kind of thought of it is that, you know how when you look at food quite often, you can tell when something's hot and something's cold and stuff like that, without touching it.
Mhm.
Yes.
so
No?
like a sixth sense type thing.
Yeah,
It's just you know things without necessarily knowing them because of your experience of them.
no, it's just like I can almost see the way that I describe it is I can see the flavour of somebody just by looking at them. It's not like there's an image somewhere that tells me what it is. I just look at somebody and I go, that's a Vizsla, that's a magical creature, that's a Geordie.
I think the flavour of me then, because you didn't see any different before, even when I was
No,
turning.
whenever I've looked at you before, I've just seen a Vizsla.
Okay.
Vizsla.
So I look the same, but I think when you see 19's group specifically, like because the other demons have gone into Penn and Teller's deceased, haven't they? They've kind of taken that over, and you've seen different demons at different times in different ways, and they've always kind of have like an unpleasant flavour, like rot or decay or
Avocado.
Spirulina.
But when you've seen 19 and his cronies, it's been quite a metallic taste. And it's kind of like I still look like Vizsla, but there's like a back taste. Like if you look at me for a longer period, you get that kind of
So kind of
quick glance and you wouldn't know, but still
sort of flavour blur. There's an undercurrent of something there.
Yeah, and it's only when you look for a long time.
No, I was going to say the other way. When I look at you,
okay.
You're just Stowbold and it's all fine. But if I'm looking at something else and you're in the corner of my eye, you aren't.
Yeah.
I can't place what that is.
Yeah.
Kind of like the way that the obscured figure is in Jacob's Ladder.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not allowed to watch that, am I?
No.
Oh, you're allowed to watch it. It's just that you have to watch it sort of fairly early in the morning and then get like 9 hours of My Little Pony queued up afterwards. Actually, it is a film about friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. It's 10:15. I don't need any imagery from that film at all at the moment. Thank you.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you're completely right. Like, when you're not looking at me when I'm in the corner of your vision, there's something very off, but you don't know what. I'm not me.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah. And
As of
I.
Roland's way, he is concerned, but he's not going to mention anything about it yet.
And I'm going to not mention anything either. I'm, like I'll come out and say, well, that was a bit of a bust. Didn't know anything I didn't already know. Like I saw me as I am now. I've seen me since I left Shadow. I knew all the things that were in Shadow, like I'd seen when Eliana came out. I saw Shadow again. It was nothing that I didn't remember. And then there was a bit of me as I am before the war. Nothing I didn't already know. I thought this was meant to reveal stuff. There was nothing about my other nature. Nothing at all.
What do you want to do now? Do any of the rest of you want to go in there?
No.
Hook, 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 hook,
You'll be here for
hook,
weeks.
hook, hook, hook.
No.
Not
Okay.
right now.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, on the way back to the Rose, if it's worth doing a flyby, passing, not going into Penn and Tellers.
Mhm.
Because if demons are becoming more of a thing in the
Mm.
area, how has that progressed since the last time we've been there? Because I've not been there.
Because that was in Fartown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like in the last 10 weeks or so, I've not been anywhere near it because
Yeah.
I don't have any need to. But
And of course,
has
that
it-
storm was coming. So
has
let's
it-
actually get back to Fartown and see what
Yeah.
the shit is was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
concur.
So the next card is the Whispering Lover. The Whispering Lover always suggests a bond in place or one that will form very soon, but it can be a positive or negative one. Depending on other cards played, this might suggest that the relationship in question remains strong, ends, faces a challenge, and so on. This card turn essentially just brings the relationship into play. Okay, so you get the train back to Fartown, and as you are, again, you kind of go through the tunnel in the hollows on the last train for the journey, and as soon as it comes out, it is buffeted left, right, and centre from side to side. The wind is absolutely howling, and it's like it's almost like you're sat in the carriage and people are just throwing buckets of water against the side of the train. And the train that you're on it's quite it's like an old school one, so it's not the Hogwarts Express, but it's that style carriages where you've got the individual rooms with the corridor. Orient Express, it's that style train. And the windows are like wooden framed, and this rain is just blattering and absolutely hammering against the side of it. And normally it would take you, not much more than sort of half an hour, 3/4 of an hour once you've come through the I think it's called the fade, which is a dimensional barrier that separates it two. But the train, you get the sense that you can hardly see the city around you, but you can tell that the train's had to slow down quite severely just to make any
Stay on
headway.
the track.
And stay on the track, indeed, yeah. And so you get off at the stop where at the end of the street, because I think there was one at the end of the street where the Rose is.
Yep.
Round up. Yep, fantastic. Can you all make level 4 withstand checks, please?
I have 2 ranks in withstand.
I have 3.
9.
I've rolled a 6.
Fantastic.
I've also rolled a 6.
Brilliant. So, you know, you manage to persevere on, and you get to the back to the doors of the Rose, and you manage to just kind of get them open and then get inside, and then a gust of wind slams them closed behind you.
Did we go via Penn and Tellers, or did we just knock that on the head?
Yeah, you were going to go to Penn and Tellers, didn't you? So that was a different neighbourhood, wasn't it?
Yeah, but still far town. I think the tram, because the main tram goes like, it was a stop about 4 stops before our one.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of a distance between there, so you'd have had to have got off the train to get to Penn and Tellers. You get there. Oh, because wasn't it in like a shopping arcade?
Yeah.
And then you'd got Lecter's Butchers just across the way from it.
That's it.
Yep.
Yes. So the shopping arcade offers a modicum of cover and protection. So as you get into the covered over
We
area,
lost you.
oh, I'm still here.
Got you back.
Yeah, okay. The shopping arcade, as soon as you get in there, it offers a measure of protection. You can still kind of hear the rain just blattering down at the glass kind of domed roof covering it. And you walk the short distance across, and you get to where Penn and Tellers is, and it is empty. Completely empty.
Is it just a case that it's not open, or there's just no one in there?
Not that it's not open. The doors are open.
Yeah.
The lights are on.
Any staff?
Empty. No staff. Nothing. And it looks exactly as it was when you left. So it had been kind of updated a little bit. It was not quite so 70s. They'd cleaned the carpets up, or they'd taken the carpets out, nuked them from orbit. It was the only way to be sure, and put new carpets in there, because that stickiness, even demons have got some level of decorum or whatever.
Gives it ambiance.
But
Stickiness that takes off the soles of your shoes. If
Yeah.
you're not careful.
it's got that stark nothingness. That's
Is it kind of a sense that it's been like that for a while, or only just?
only just.
Maybe since the start of this storm. This feels ominous.
Because they'd extended into my flat. My flat doesn't exist anymore, does it? Well, it does,
Yeah.
but in a different space.
Yep.
But they'd kind of...
Yeah, they wanted to expand, didn't they?
yeah.
Hmm.
Can you see from
it the
like
same
the
across-
ground level that her flat's still there and still looks like normal, or?
No, because my flat itself is now in the Rose.
Yeah, I know, but the exterior, does that
It's still...
look
It's still there. The
Okay.
building hasn't changed at the outside at all.
Okay. I just didn't know if there was one like big shot of light going up into the sky, and that's what was all these rain clouds were coming from. Or...
The other shops in the arcade, are they all abandoned as well, or are they all kind of business?
No. What else was around your house? The only things that I think that we had were Lecter's Butchers and the pub.
There was above the pub was Ben and Tellers, and then there was Hannibal's Butchers. There was Steptoe's Rag and Bone Store, and there was Morecambe and Wise's Suit Yourself Tailors.
Okay. The
And
Rag and Bone
there was a chain
place.
that wanted to buy the pub to turn it into spoons.
The so the Rag and Bone place is all closed up and everything, as is Hannibal's Butchers, but the tailors look like they're open.
I'm gonna go in.
Yeah, let's go and ask them and see what they know.
Now, is it Morecambe and Wise, or is it Paul Whitehouse and whoever it was who did the suit you?
Mark Williams.
Mark Williams.
No, it's Morecambe and Wise.
It is Morecambe and Wise.
You can't even see it with the bloody thing. I was slapping the back of my neck.
Good evening, gents, madams.
Just a quick question, really. Have you seen what's gone on with Penn and Tellers? It seemed dead in there.
I don't rightly know, says the short one. We've just been sort of getting everything squared away out the back. We've had a window break, and it was letting the rain in, something fierce. But my
The outside is pretty crazy.
yeah, absolutely terrible.
No, if you can't help us, then that's fine. It's probably nothing. I used to live above there, and it's weird not seeing it the way it used to be. That's all.
Things are very rarely the way that they used to be. And he looks at Roland and says, kind of looks up and down, and you can tell that he's sizing you up. And then he kind of obviously
For a suit or a coffin.
takes off the measuring tape, and he kind of, excuse me, sir. We have something that would suit you, sir. Would you care to try? And he kind of points across, and there is an absolutely immaculate suit. And it is it's a glossy, dark graphite colour. The material looks like the finest, supplest leather that you've seen. But you kind of reach out and touch it, but it still feels like it's woven material rather than leather.
Okay.
A leather suit.
I will try on the suit.
Okay. You put it on, and it is a perfect fit. It has been pretty much tailored completely accurately.
Nothing suits you like a suit.
So, one, Roland kind of looks in the mirror like, damn right.
Mm-hmm.
Two, he kind of very pointedly is going to ask Wise, it was a small one, only Wise, this craftsmanship seems custom.
Well, we just throw them together. We don't really work to patterns.
Did
Who
somebody
is it made for?
put an order in for this?
We make them as and when we need to, or we make custom orders, but generally speaking, when we're not working on a custom order, we will just put something together with the materials we have to hand, and then a buyer normally finds the suit.
What is this material?
And he turns around and he shouts to his colleague, and he goes, Eric, what is it? This suit that's on the rack. The which one? We got a whole shop full. You know the one. And Eric kind of comes out, and he's got a book in his hand, and he says, I'm trying to work on a new play. Which suit? Oh, that suit. Has it found its owner? Fantastic. And he kind of comes out, and they stand either side of you, and they do the, oh, this is fantastic. It's almost like it was custom made for you, sir. It suits you. Hard wearing, breathable cotton, plenty of pockets on the inside. And if you take a look, sir, and then you kind of open it up, and there is space tailored inside the suit for your guns.
Okay. The lining of the suit
Mhm.
doesn't happen to have a kind of rose motif, does it?
Oh, of course it does.
When I put the suit on, do I feel anything?
What's the phrase? A good suit can make a man feel like $1 million.
I'll take it.
Oh, wonderful, sir. Does suit you, sir. So, will sir wear it, or?
I'll wear it out.
Fantastic. I'll just ring that up for you, sir.
£19 and 19 pence.
It's 361 crystal.
Bargain. I hand it over.
Fantastic. And he kind of, do you
Guess
wear?
what? 19 squared is 361.
Do you wear the badge of your order openly?
No.
Not at all. Okay. Okay. So he kind of brings it up and he gives you a bag to put your other clothes in. And I presume you put your duster coat back over the top?
Yeah.
Okay. As the coat kind of goes over the top of it, again, that fits just perfectly. And the pair of them kind of look at Stowbold, then they look at Hawk, and they say, "Awfully sorry, madam, we just do the gents."
Oh no, I know. I've been in here previously and looking for a coat, but you couldn't offer the services. It's totally fine.
And then they look back at Stowbold and say, "Would you like to have a look at our wares, sir?"
While I'm here?
Fantastic. And you see a couple of suits which they look quite, they kind of draw your eye as to what they look like. So I don't know what kind of suit Stowbold would.
Corduroy.
It's a leather jacket with corduroy patches on the elbows.
Beige.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you try a couple on, but they just don't fit quite right. You know, the color looks good, the material feels good. I can see him being like I can see Stowbold being more like a blazer and slacks than a suit wearer.
He's more a chinos and polo shirt tucked in type person.
Yeah. And some of these suits, so there's like one that's cut like a tuxedo, but it's just a little bit too narrow across the shoulders, and the trousers are just a little bit too long. And
Is
the
it
next one,
Canadian tuxedo? Would Stowbold go double denim?
Triple denim. He's go no, quadruple, because he'll have the waistcoat and the shirt.
and then the next one, there's like a single-breasted, I don't want to say leisure suit, but there's kind of like a Panama style suit with a hat and everything, and the hat's just a little bit too small, and the suit's just a little bit too long in the sleeves, and everything is just a little bit wrong.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nothing fits me.
Most unusual, says Eric. Usually we can find something for everybody in here.
Oh well, I've got enough clothes for the while.
I tell you what, if you are after something, give us a week. I'm sure we can whip something up for you.
Okay. I need to go to bed in a minute because I've got work tomorrow morning.
You get back to the Rose. We fast forward to that bit.
Sure.
Fantastic. The weather, if anything, has got worse. So it's a fight to get the door open. And as you all kind of get inside, a massive gust of wind slams the door closed. And you turn round and the music is off, the lights are down, and stood just in front of the bar is Eliana, and Caliburn is in her arms, and they are kissing. And that's where we'll end it. And that's where we'll end it.
Yeah, hopeless romantic, Kelly.
Oh yeah.
So, summaries.
You're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah, I know. Someone's got to get it from somewhere.
That's hence the hopeless part.
Pretty much. Cool. Fun.
So Hawk, any progress along any character arcs?
No, apart from making one pigeon thing, that's pretty much it.
Okay, I'll give you a point of joy for making an exceptionally powerful item.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. And I think 1 acumen for the session itself. Roland.
I think Roland is going to have a point of despair because even though he doesn't know what, he knows that Stowbold is changed. And he suspects that Stowbold has lied about what he saw in the museum.
Okay. And any progress along any of your arcs?
No.
Okay. And Stowbold.
Progress along my arcs. I've got Mysterious Secret. I've done Opening and Begin Search. I haven't ticked off research, but I feel that this is research and a discovery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So progress along those.
Yep.
2
So
bits of progress.
4 points of acumen then.
Okay. See, with the despair and joy and things,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel that I could have joy there because if I've got this, it feels to me that bad guys tend to be happy about being bad guys. So if I kind of got a bit more of the evil oil in me, and I'm keeping secrets and I'm knowing bad things, and it looks like there's like the storm's coming and all that jazz, I kind of feel that's joy for me. Weird kind of hey.
Yeah. Yep.
So a joy. Cool.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you very much, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you hopefully next week.
Dressed as pirates.
Hey, dressed as pirates. Yar.
Yes. Arr.